Hey everybody, Sage from Tiny Home Tours. Just want to take a few seconds before this tour video to remind you that the team at Tiny Home Tours has created a course on tiny living. The course is currently in its pre-launch phase, and this weekend is the last weekend to get 50% off. At midnight on Sunday, the early bird pre-launch ends and the discount drops to 30%. We will never offer 50% off the course again, so make sure to sign up before the end of the weekend to get the best deal. We're really excited for those of you guys who have already purchased the Tiny Living course, and we're looking forward to seeing you guys as you begin your own personal tiny living journey. Thank you so much. Now enjoy this tour.
Hi, I'm Pamela, and this is Achilles, and we live here in Austin, Texas in my tiny home. I'm on Village Farm, and so I really enjoy that I can overlook the farm. And I'm living in 399 square feet. So come on in and I'll show you around. Welcome inside. We are in the living room of my tiny home. And this is actually a lot of the reason that I purchased this particular model, because it allows me to have really good size furniture. This is all full size furniture that I purchased at a local furniture store, and it has all kinds of functionality to it. Tons of storage. It also has this is a motorized recliner, so I can lay out. When I have guests, they can sleep there as well. And then also my table is a lift top table. So I really enjoy being able to have it lift up, and that's where I eat my dinner or I'll have my drinks. And then it also has wheels. So you can see under the table, I actually have my weights, my yoga mat, and I can move this out of the way and have a completely open space where I can do my yoga and work out. So when I started looking into going tiny, I knew that it was really important to me to have decor. I wanted to make sure that I had a space that I could be able to have all of my plants and all of my knickknacks from my travels. And so as I started looking at the different models that Village Farm offered, I wanted to really find one that suited what was important to me. And so that's how I ended up with this model, because I was able to bring in my large chest and I can have all of my plants, my photos, my knickknacks, and I just love my plants, obviously. It's like a jungle in here. So I've really enjoyed that. I also like that I can see out into Tiny Town. That's what I call it. So that way, you know, when I'm sitting here, I feel like I'm in a real village. Like I actually feel like I'm in a community of like-minded people, and I can close these. I can open my curtains or close my curtains for a little more privacy. I also have blackouts. So, you know, just really functional, lots of multifunction. What I like the most about my kitchen is that it really is just a larger part of the living space. It's an extended open kitchen, and I really enjoy having this island here. I've seen other people with similar floor plans and they've put maybe dining tables or something like that, but I really love having an island where I can use as an extension of my prep. And I'm pretty much cook here 2-3 times a day, and I never feel overly crowded. And then what's also nice about this is this can be moved around. So I'm all about multifunctional items, and so I wanted to make sure that if I did have company over, I could actually shift this over and put it against the wall, and it actually opens the space up even more, and I can use it similar to a buffet. One of the big changes that I made in my tiny home when I first moved in was that I put in a garbage disposal. Being somebody that cooks quite a bit, I was really concerned about stopping at my plumbing. Even though I do compost and I try not to put stuff down there, you know, it just happens. And then I also put in my golden faucet. So this is a brushed brass faucet, and you'll see that it connects in with a bunch of the other, you know, decor pieces that have a little bit of that gold in them. I love how big my kitchen feels. It actually feels very similar to what my previous kitchen was in my larger home. I have a dishwasher. I have a full-size appliances, my stove, microwave, all of the things that you could even ever want in, you know, a modern convenient home. And in a lot of ways, this place feels bigger to me than even my 900 square foot apartment did, just because of the way everything is laid out. For storage, that's another reason that I purchased my island. It has all kinds of storage here. I have baskets, I have shelving on this side, and then on the other side, as you saw in the entry, it has the Ottoman as well. And then I have plenty of storage. I have my pots and pans under the sink. I have my cleaning stuff under the sink, and you know, my glasses and all of that. This is kind of my spices. And there's even storage here too. So I find that I have plenty of storage in the kitchen. And again, as I continue to live in this and I pare down more and more, I'm finding that everything is getting even more and more empty, which is really fun too. One of the things that was really important to me in purchasing my tiny home was to be able to have somewhere to display the deer heads that my father had mounted. So my dad was a hunter and he's since passed on. And so that was another reason I really liked this home, was I felt like there was sufficient wall space to display my deer heads, to display some of my art. And so I think it's really fun to be able to stand in my kitchen and just look around at all the pretty things that I've added to my home. I chose to go tiny because I wanted to be able to live alone in my own space and also have the freedom of having a lower cost in my overhead. That way I could afford to travel more, I could afford to buy nicer things. So it really fit my lifestyle because I don't always live here. I live here mostly full time, but I travel quite a bit. And so it was nice to be able to know that I have a smaller place to manage, that I can even Airbnb it if I want to, and I can have all that flexibility. I just want to say that for anybody that's thinking about doing something that maybe people are saying, no, it's not a good idea, or have you thought about it in these ways? You know, it's important to recognize that alternative lifestyles are not for everyone. Yes, they're getting more and more popular, but it is good on one hand to listen to what everyone's feedback is, but then also to kind of separate and distance yourself a little bit and just really look within and try to figure out why are you doing it? Why is it important to you? Why does it feel good? And, you know, at the end of the day, if it doesn't work out, you can sell it, you know? And so just give it a go. Why not? You're just gonna regret it if you don't. And by the time you're 80, you're gonna be looking around going, why didn't I ever try living in that tiny house? So now I get to be the weird old lady that's like, yeah, I lived in all the things, including a tiny house. I'm not sure if I will live tiny indefinitely, but it's certainly becoming a way of life for me. I'm really enjoying it. And there are definitely times and days where I sit here and this home, my 399 square foot house, feels large to me. And I think I'm getting more and more excited about the idea of maybe going even a little smaller. Now, if I were to meet somebody and they weren't super into the tiny house living, I still don't think I'd ever want to go back to like the large traditional homes. It's just not really in my DNA. But this would be a good size, maybe a slightly bigger where I have a bedroom I can stand up in. All right, so this is my entryway, and it was really important to me to have an entryway that allowed for me to just bring my things in. You know, being able to just come out of the vehicle and, you know, put my shoes somewhere to where everything is up and tidy, or to be able to hang my bag or hang my camel pack if I've been out camping or whatever it is. So I wanted to make sure I had an entryway that felt good coming straight in and just being able to kind of dump my stuff. In a tiny home, I don't think you're always able to do that. A lot of times it's like you're beelining for, you know, your bedroom or something. So I was able to really work with this area and create a space that I could kind of put my things. Also, one of my favorite things about the home is my washer and dryer. Really love having a washer and dryer in unit. This one is really fancy. I learned a fun trick about it. It does not have an exterior ventilation. It actually has a reservoir that holds the water when the water comes in. So that's what I use to actually help water my plants. So, you know, it's just one more thing I can do to be a little more sustainable. So also, as a part of my entry, I included some additional storage. So I have a storage ottoman here, and in the storage ottoman I actually include like some animal things, you know, for my dog. I include some pantry items in there, things that are just, you know, staples that I don't use all the time, but it's nice to have. And then again, I have a basket that if you opened it up and you looked inside, telling you all my secrets, there would be a lot of kind of random stuff in there, but it's nice because I can just kind of come in, dump it, and it looks nice and everything still looks tidy. Okay, this is my full-size refrigerator. I really enjoy it because it has plenty of room, and living on the outskirts of Austin a little bit, we're very close, only 5 miles to like a really nice HEB in Texas. That is our grocery. But I like to be able to stock up. You know, it's nice to be able to put things in the freezer, put things in the refrigerator, and know that I don't have to go to the grocery store every single week. And so I really love having a large size refrigerator and freezer for that reason. I really like this bathroom. It does sometimes feel a little small to me, I will say that. But that's also because I was living in a massive bathroom before. So I've kind of gotten used to not having all the things that I'm used to having in a bathroom. I usually will have my my jewelry and some of my makeup and things in my dressing room, bedroom. And I just have, you know, the essential toiletries and such in here. And just coming up with different types of storage solutions. Like, for example, you know, this has some of my, you know, my facials and things like that, like my specialty skincare. I really wanted to also have the ability to do more like mood lighting in here when I take a shower, not always have this like vibrant light. And I couldn't figure out how to do it, and so I just decided candles. So candles actually add a good ambiance, and they give me some mood lighting in here because I have a tiny bathroom. For storage also, I have my 2 towel racks, or my 2 towel hooks on the wall, and then behind the door is where I keep a lot of my stuff I don't want people to see, which, I mean, when they come over and they close the door, they're going to see it anyways, but I pretend they can't see it. But it's really just my swimsuits and my robes and stuff like that. And then one thing that's really neat, like, I'm short enough where this is not a problem, but if I have friends come over and you know, maybe they're a bit tall, they might hit their head, but I've discovered that as long as you're under 6'4", you're good. And then even better, in the shower, you actually have all the room you need. So there's actually a bump out here that allows me to, you know, raise my arms and do whatever I need to do, which is really fun. So that's been really nice too. I didn't actually even notice that when I was buying the house, and I'm really excited that I found it. I also love my plant, and my plant loves my bathroom. It gets steamy like the jungle, and she's a jungle plant, so it's perfect. Welcome to my office / dressing / spare bedroom. This is the room that I do a lot of things in. It's always evolving. I have behind me a twin size bed. It is an RV twin. And I have my office all set up in here. I practically live in this room because I do work a traditional 9-to-5 job right now. Thankfully, it's 100% remote, which makes me very happy. And so I really enjoy working here and then being able to look out onto the farm. It's really fun to have a nice view. For this room, I also really love that I have a specialized air unit in here. This thing makes it so much nicer. The climate control is fantastic in this room. I have all my shoes, I have all of my pajamas and socks and all of that. And then I also have a full-size closet, which I, again, am finding that as I'm paring things down more and more, it's more than sufficient for one person. I even feel like I could grow into this space, which is unique. So, you know, we'll see how that goes. But this room could actually fit a queen size bed as well. So if I did want to live downstairs, I could. But I've opted to sleep up in the bedroom loft. The transition of going from a large home, which was 4 bedrooms, 2 bath, full front yard, backyard, and I was in San Diego at the time, into a tiny home has been nothing short of challenging and exhilarating all at the same time. When I first made the decision, I can't tell you how many people were just complete naysayers. They thought I was absolutely insane, especially because I had just finished renovating my larger home. So that was really a fun conversation to have with all of my friends and everybody that thought, wow, your home is so amazing. You've worked so hard for it, and you're just gonna sell it and run away to like a smaller spot. I don't understand. But you know, it's been an interesting one, because as I got more and more comfortable with getting rid of my things, which was a process in its own. Getting rid of stuff was challenging for me, as most people. But as I kept getting rid of more and more, it became almost addictive. And I'm still going through the process of editing down my things. So the process for me was sell my home, and I actually ended up adopting a family in the area. And this woman had just moved out on her own with her, I think she was with 3 kids or 4 kids. And so I ended up giving her a lot of my stuff rather than selling it. And that in itself kind of gave me a little bit of extra oomph. It was like I was paying it forward. And then I made a pit stop in between the tiny home. I lived in a 900 square foot apartment, 1 bedroom. And that was a nice trial run for me. You know, thinking, okay, I was living in this huge house, I'm gonna live in this apartment. At the time, the apartment was a little apartment. And then as I lived there for about 4 months and kept editing my things down, I just thought, gosh, I can live in something even smaller. And I've been watching, you know, just like a lot of people, you see tiny houses on HGTV, you see them on YouTube. I've watched this channel many times on YouTube. And so I was like, well, let me go try it out. Let's check it out. And then when I decided to move into here, I had to get rid of some of the other stuff I had purchased for my new apartment. And so that was kind of frustrating, because I felt like I was wasting my money or whatever it was. And just kind of, you know, it's interesting because you go through a process where you just start to determine what is important to you, what do you actually use, and what brings you comfort. And that's what I did. I knew I wanted to bring certain pieces of furniture. I knew I wanted certain things like my plants and my dad's deer heads. And I just started looking into it. And it's been amazing and challenging. I think my least favorite part about my tiny home is actually my stairs. Getting up and down these things is a bit treacherous for me, especially in the middle of the night, coming up and down with a huge dog. So I'm planning on adding a railing. I think that might help the situation. But overall, it's kind of fun, because I do kind of feel like I am climbing up into a treehouse every day. And once I'm up here, I really am cozy. Welcome to my master loft. That's what I call it. It's my master bedroom. I do have a king size bed up here, which was really crucial for me. Having a large dog that likes to steal all the covers is always fun. So we fit up here just fine, and really enjoy being able to have some of my more treasured things up here. You know, I do have, again, all my plants, all my knickknacks, and I have some artwork that I really enjoy. And it was just really important for me to create a space that felt cozy and well decorated. And when I first moved in, this area actually had carpet, and I was finding that the carpet was not going to work out for me. Coming up here and doing extensive vacuuming of carpet with a dog is challenging, especially because even though I'm sitting on the one side that's nice and tall, when you get over there, you really do have to crab crawl. And so making my bed in a really short loft can be challenging. What I love about it, though, is that it does feel a lot like living in a little tree house. when it thunders and lightnings like it did the other night, it was really neat because I could really just hear and feel the storm, but I'm still safe inside. When I get up in the mornings, I like to look out the window and I can see over the farm and I can see kind of what's going on, and there's some beautiful sunsets, beautiful sunrises, and yeah, I really enjoy it up here once I'm up here. The stairs get me going, and then you forget about the stairs until you got to get down in the morning. So welcome to my front porch. My porch was one of the most important things for me when I started looking at a tiny home. I wanted to have sufficient outdoor space because it's really important to me, since I do have a small area, that I'm outside all the time. And I love being outside. It's really nice to wave at the neighbors. They come by and they walk their dogs and we talk about their kids, and it just really creates this fun little community that you don't normally get in other more traditional type living arrangements. I wanted to create a certain vibe out here, which I think I've achieved with all the different types of furniture that I selected, and just wanted it to feel really cozy, and even though it's wide open to the elements, to feel kind of like an extended living room. I also, one of the things that I did outside once I moved in, when I purchased the home, it was pretty run down. Even though the people that I had purchased it from had only lived here for a little over a year, you could tell that it had experienced quite a bit of wear and tear. So one of the first things that I did was I got the whole place painted, and then I went around and replaced all of the fixtures. So one of the things I splurged on is my ginormous fan. It is Central Texas, y'all. Like, it is hot, it is humid here, and I love to sit out here in the mornings and drink my coffee. I love to have my wine at night. I like to do yoga on the porch, and so I wanted to make sure that I had some serious air movement. And turns out one of my favorite things about the fan is not just the air movement, but it actually has a dimmer switch on it, so I can create whatever kind of ambiance I'm looking for here at night as well. Welcome to my side yard porch. This is where my entryway, you kind of walk past, and I really wanted to create an area where I could enjoy some plants but also have it be super low maintenance. So this is my most recent project. It is my succulent garden, and it is also the inspiration for my next project, which will be my front part of my house, where I'll be doing the landscaping out there and kind of updating it to match my succulent garden here. So I currently am a large employer health and welfare insurance broker. I work as an account executive, and I have the luxury of working 100% from home. And I'm really fortunate because the firm I work for has allowed me to work from Austin, Texas, even though they still are in San Diego. So all my clients are in San Diego, and I do travel there periodically. I also am in the process of pursuing yoga and developing more in my practice. I just started some yoga teacher training. We'll see where that ends up going. And then I've gotten so much positive feedback from the people in the community about the way I've decorated my home. And I've also helped decorate friends' homes throughout the years, apartments. And so I started a little website and a little Instagram. You can find me on Instagram at GotTinyStyle or PamPamStylin'. Thank you for coming. It's been a pleasure showing you around my home, and I hope you found inspiration in it.